South Africa, a land of heroes. From the brave warriors of old who took on a global superpower with just spears, to the giants who rose up against a system that is now known as a crime against humanity.
Apartheid as a policy of good neighborliness.
With the Rainbow Nation being ravaged by the Nyaope and crystal meth epidemic, South Africa once again needed a hero. A brave man stepped up to the challenge and gave South Africans hope that their children's futures will be salvaged. But as the old saying goes, no good deed goes unpunished. In today's special video of Mzansi in 2 minutes, we take a look at why a patriot and an upstanding citizen like Xolani Khumalo is being persecuted.
This is my home. I was born here, and I will fight for it. Whether you like it or not, I will die for this cause.
Xolani Khumalo was born in Tembisa, South Africa, where he faced harsh realities of the township life. But through his disciplined character, he resisted a life of crime that some people he looked up to in his neighborhood succumbed to.
When you grow up as an underprivileged child, lifestyle, you end up doing wrong things. And you end up having wrong friends. Nabantu engangi bukela kubona kakhulu. I saw them doing wrong things.
Sure.
Some of them, they resorted into smoking drugs. And that affected me a lot.
Instead, he focused his energy on education, which led him to further his studies in the Val.
Ngokufunda. I did explosive engineers. So
Explosive engineering. Okay.
Yeah, so mina ngikwazi ukudubula umhlaba. Yeah, his specialty sami.
Unfortunately, his siblings would fall into drugs and become addicts, something that affected him deeply.
There are members of my family who have destroyed their lives. Ngama drugs.
Right.
But one of them has came back, manje.
No, that's great.
Yeah, successfully just loyal one.
No smoking some 10 years ago. No smoking ke kereke, but it thusa bana ba di drugs. At least ngwana wa gabo. Tsatsi le leng o ile ha tla a tlo bona ngwana habo ha tswa mole. A bolela hore yena o tlo ilwa. Kajeno after some 8 years ago, wa ilwa. Asetaba empsha mo yena because of Sizokthola. Nanza ayibuletse le khadi.
One of the biggest reasons why a country is failing right now, drugs are very impactful. The most effective way of destroying a country.
Re na le di-friends, di-colleague, baahisane ba ba tlhokofaletsweng ke bana ba bangata ha ba sa itseba hore ke bo mang, ha ba tlhape, ha ba ireng, and then ra ba rata. Mare di-drugs tse di nkile our future generation ba ba entse matlakala fela kore ebile le matlakala betere because re khona ho a wolla ro a latlhela ko dustbin.
People are doing crime because of drugs.
Bengihlupha umphakathi ngitshontsha kanjalo even nasendlini bengitshontsha. Kwana teaspoon, kwana plate, start to fit in addiction and enkunzi bengibamba. As I was saying, I was a part of the gang and I was a leader of the gang.
It's so painful ukuhlala nomntana obhema ama-drugs. Yo, umntana uyatshontsha wenzani? Sicela igovernment yethu ibe ne-harsh sentence. Yokuthi abantu abatholakala ngama-drugs mabagwetshwe.
People are being abused because of drugs. Buildings are vandalized, the country is filthy. Businesses are collapsing because of issue of drugs.
Xolani's journey to our screens and the front doors of drug dealers was pure destiny, which he had no choice but to fulfill.
Sesangena Moja Love mina no ex na James was a cast. We were bouncers. for Moja 99. Then we had an idea. Then XRepo was born. I think for the first 2 episodes I was there. Then I went back into mining. Then Masengbuya gave an opportunity.
Yeah.
Sizokthola was born. Moja Love launched 14 February 2018 on the DSTV platform. In a short space of time, it became one of the most successful channels on DSTV. Its success was mainly due to it focusing on issues faced by the majority of South Africans, but mainly black South Africans, from the rural areas and the townships. The manner which Moja Love tackles certain issues drew criticism and acclaim. The acclaim came from the marginalized black South Africans who finally saw their lives on TV without any sugarcoating, while others, mainly in the middle class, criticized the Jerry Springer-like approach to some of their shows. While the criticism was apt for shows like Moja 99, Nyaope, Zodwa Wabantu Uncensored, Isencane Lengane, and others, Moja Love also produced shows that became a beacon of light for South Africans, dealing with certain social ills, with shows like Skipper Mafile, Ufelani, Uyaphuza, and others. But the show that captured the imagination of the entire nation was Sizokthola.
Uma wenza into ebulala isizwe sethu ulawuthinta thina.
Install and cat.
Ngabona lena ama plastic le fam. Awuthi ngizobona ngapha.
Mase ngithe ngizokuthola, uhlala wazi ukuthi ngizokuthola.
Xolani, knowing the pain drugs bring to a family, knew that actions speak louder than words.
We are dying as a nation, and people are not paying attention. People with power, they're not paying attention. Ukukhuluma ngama-drugs will never assist us. Ukwenza ama-posters wama-drugs will never assist us. But tackling the drug issue and confronting the problem, that's what we need as a nation.
Sizokthola lifted the lid on the seedy underworld of drug dealers in our communities. It exposed our fellow South Africans who, through the uselessness of the ANC government's ability not only to create employment, but to protect employment for South Africans, saw no choice but to poison their own communities for 30 pieces of silver.
Kunenyungu la. Ngithola la yenza imali. Uyazi ukuthi yenzani la?
Ngingasidura.
Uyazi ukuthi ibulala abantu abangakanani la?
Ngingacanga. Angicali zamana.
Uyehasa wena riding?
Yeah, ngiyakhuza.
Oh, now uyehasa?
Yeah.
Bese kenzakalani?
Masengilala khona mangifiki.
Ibhlungu ukubona indlu abazali beshiya ifully finished. Mabehamba abazali sala indlu iphenduka indawo yama-drugs. Abafowethu abayiyeke lento yokuthi ama-drugs anemali. Ama-drugs abulala isizwe sethu. Abangayenzi lento le ukuthi ama-drugs anemali. Anemali for ubani?
The show was a big hit and had the public questioning Begitale's competence as police minister. The viewers fell in love with the stern manner Xolani treated these despicable criminals.
Okay. Eta. Ringa yami na uma. Ringa na out.
A disturbing trend, however, started appearing. More and more of these drug dealers were not South African citizens. They were people mostly from Nigeria, Tanzania, Congo, and even some from China. This shook South Africans to the core. The people considered their brothers and sisters and accepted them in their communities. Instead of making a life that was impossible in their home countries, turned around and poisoned them.
What is this? Tight. Also, this one is tight. This is Nyaope.
Batho ba ba rekisa di drugs aba buyele mo ba tswang re kgathetse batho ba modimo lefatshe le re ile ra le lwanela so ha o tla batho ba tlhaya ka montle ba rekisa ntho tse wrong tshwantse re etse bjang a ra tshwanela re dule fatshe re le bomme community ra khopela tlohela go reka dilo tsa go makuleng that's why bana ba rena ba krang dilo tsa di drugs go teng le ba banyane ba reka di chappies ba reka dilo tsa di na le drugs ngwana ba mo fa ba re e jana mo ngwana e ja a fitla go ntlo ngwana o ira metlholo
izolethi le feeling ngenxa yama-drugs and la bantu abathengisa ama-drugs abawabhemi abantu abaphuma ngaphandle bazobulala izwe lethu and nayo igovernment yethu ayiboni sebusuku mhlawumbe nayidla nabo asazi thina.
With seemingly every episode featuring a Nigerian drug dealer, privileged South Africans started to call out the show all of a sudden. They labeled Xolani a vigilante.
My thoughts a little bit tend to veer to, isn't this just popularized vigilanteism? You're not a police officer, you're not a security guard, but you're going out and apprehending, arresting, temporarily detaining and interrogating suspected drug dealers.
Some even celebrated when drug dealers attacked the Sizok'thola crew. But Xolani was not going to be deterred from his quest of cleaning South Africa of drugs, despite death threats from drug dealers. He had drug dealers by the scrotum and he wasn't letting go.
I was sleeping. No, Chief, no. I'm asking you, why did you jump from the second floor?
I jumped from the second floor.
Yeah.
I was scared.
Scared of what?
The television people they talk.
Yeah?
My brother, I'm visiting him, tell me there's a problem. People are knocked, they want to kill him. That's how I wanted.
So your father said there are people that want to kill him?
If it was not the police, if it was not the police, I was not going to land like that.
Yeah, when we opened the door, you knew that it's policemen that were coming.
When you opened the door,
can you do like this?
I can't.
Chief, the reason why we came to you is because we want drugs. No?
To me?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my car. I can go to you. I can take you to where I'm staying.
You ain't better. But God did it.
What happened on the fateful day in Katlehong is still murky even today. It is unclear whether the Amapanyaza, a local anti-crime organization, or the Community Police Forum, or even the South African Police Service were involved. All we know is that alleged drug dealer Robert Very is dead. Now, piecing together the story from various sources is that the Sizokthola crew received a tip-off that Very was a drug dealer. The team allegedly with Amapanyaza, who the provincial government disputes their involvement. A local anti-crime organization that also denies involvement.
No one within Zonke is allowed to take the law onto their own hands, because we are also working with the SAPS, we are working with Metro Police. The MEC even assigned a unit within Zonke called SLEW to work with us, to assist us in terms of the work that we do to protect the community. We operate within the parameters of the law.
And the Community Police Forum descended on Very's house and demanded drugs, which he produced. Now it is alleged that the 2 bags he produced weren't satisfactory, so he was interrogated more. The full extent of the alleged interrogation is not known right now, but the alleged drug dealer's girlfriend claims he was tasered and suffocated by the Amapanyaza and the Sizokthola bouncers.
He did sell drugs, but they only find 2 bags of drugs. He did sell drugs, yes, he did. And his spine was broken, his ribs were broken, everything was broken.
South Africa woke up to the news of Vari's death with shock and indifference.
The family of a man who was allegedly tortured to death by a TV crew say they want justice. 49-year-old Robert Very was confronted by a reality show called Sizok'thola, which airs on Moja Love TV. The premise of the controversial show is centered around confronting alleged drug dealers and handing them over to police.
Those in the gated communities with private armed security and living in neighborhoods the drug scourge has yet to touch saw it as validation for what they viewed as vigilante justice. While the thoughts of those who live with the consequences of the alleged hustle people like Veritu were indifferent, highlighting once again the class divide in South Africa.
yena lo ashonile lo ubulale abantu abaningi and still usayishene XRepo lapho
igasi lethu selirulwa ama-drugs bafethu ngokuqala lokho uthe uXolani makazama ukuyenza lento lethu ayizama ukustopha kwenzeke ukuthi abanye abayithandi ukuthi ayenze i-one into esifunayo ukubona i-South Africa i-free kuma-drugs sibalekele inkunzi ukubulawa kwabantu besimame ukurejwa kwabantu besimame lokho asikuthandi si South Africa mina as a man lokho angithandi mina bro.
As pressure from the media for action against Sizokthola grew, so did the support for Xolani, which culminated in the hands-off Xolani march to the Union buildings, where South Africans came to support their persecuted hero.
Sizele uXolani lo Xolani bafuna ukumkhipha ukumbopha for ukuthi ubamba abantu for ama-drugs.
We were here to support uXolani and the crew and everyone oring phansi ngama-drugs phansi.
Ngithi Xolani phambili ngawe mfowethu. You deserve ukuthi ube yi-president.
What Xolani is fighting for is what the South African government should be fighting for. Unfortunately, the man is alone in the fight against drugs. The time has come where South Africans must stand up and say no to drugs.
Mabayekela uXolani ayenza umsebenzi wakhe ngoba amaphoyisa ayahluleka ukuyenza umsebenzi wabo. Sebafuna ukumdistracta manje emsebenzini alright osiza umphakathi.
To these South Africans, Ferry was a drug dealer, no big loss for South Africa. For them, people like him destroyed a generation of South Africans.
Arena nation, future nation. Give you fella etlobanteng and baby ba ka se bane le matla. And re kopa hore batho ba di drug laws ba tshware and ha ba tshwere ba skefuwe bail. And re batla ho tseba rena why maphodisa a dumella hore batho ba ba tshwereng ba rekisa di drugs ba ba lokolle meaning hore le bona they are gaining something more.
Yeah. We are tired of bloodshed. We are tired. We are always raboloka ka lebaka la di drugs. Re lapile. We are tired. Our children are dying like flies. No, this must stop. This must come to an end.
Please, Tatelan Xolani, because we are sick and tired of those drugs.
Sizohlala simseka simeceleni kwakhe because asifuni ma drugs, sifuna abo doctors, sifuna ama lawyers, sifuna ama teachers wa tomorrow.
Ayindemoshile kasi asimuqamba manga.
Ayimoshile kasi. Ifuture yabantwana isekho.
Ama brothers lawa i-drug phela phela vele uCoski asiphakamisele siyaphakamisela nathi sibonge uCoski.
Baphelile abantwana kugcwala amahobo left and right and center bayamosha and okubhlungu ukuthi labantwana batshontsha nje basuke bafuna lento le abazenzi and manje bayashaywa kumele kushaywe wona ama drug dealer straight. I-safety yethu ayisekho. Why? Angeke sazi ukuthi it's either amaphoyisa adla nalabantu or ba protect labantu bama drugs, we never know. But siyacela ku South African citizens ukuthi sisebenzisaneni ukuqeda ama drugs. Let's support uXolani from today ukuya phambili.
Xolani was summoned to the police station and charged with murder, the only one to be charged with murder, despite Veri's girlfriend saying there were many people there. Not a single film crew member, the Mapanyaza, The CPF has joined Xolani at the dock. It seems like Xolani is being silenced, being made an example of, so that more South Africans don't stand up to criminals.
Umuntu abamchajayo him.
But charge when as an individual.
Yeah, charge me as an individual. Mina bengisespani.
Yeah.
Charge me as an individual, but I hope sizo email. But Moja Love is trying to support. But then the beginning at the end of the day.
And then it's Sakal Vulaoban.
The family of
yeah. Of the
deceased. Yeah.
The deceased. Okay.
I have long suspected that there's an agenda against black South Africans to turn us into mindless zombies, using social grants and drugs so people can loot our resources as they wish.
It means totality, like us in South Africa, we don't have a government. Government, the government are just deployee abababeke office, kunabantu ababa controller ema office ngutenzani 1 2 3. Wonke ama department is not only drugs. I-housing izindlu zabantu ziyadliwa. I-government ethenza nothing. Uma uya kula ma department akuna next enzakala. Uma uthi uyabheka corruption enzakala, uhamba imali phambili. Uma unemali into zakho ziyahamba. So i-government yasibulala.
Ama-president wethu siwavotele bakhwela istep mabakhwele istep le manje sebasibheka njengamafinyela.
We will bring Arab Spring la ibe South African Spring. We will rise against you if you are not going to do what we want as a nation. So we can do anything and everything which is in remove. 2024 is here. Nizonyanyi.
People in the government doing this to Xolani have underestimated the spirit of South Africans. We, unlike other Africans, don't run away from our problems and make a new life elsewhere. Like the warriors of the past with their spears and the apartheid generation with their stones, we will fight the scourge of drugs head on.
My request is one for all the South Africans. Please let us start being both small Xolani in our communities.
We are making a stand today. We've got leaders. Everyone is also behind Xolani.
Siama, a recovering addict, and then we are here to support Xolani. Now we are sober and clean, and we will never let our fellow brothers and sisters fall apart in the same pit that we've been through. And we say no to drugs.
Re tlile re tlo support-a Xolani, re ba mo tlogele a tswelle pele ka mosebetsi wa hae wa gore a tlo feleletsa a entse this country drug-free country.
Ene Xolani re a mo support gore a ye ko pele a ska itloela ntwa yena. Yena re a mo rata a tswelle pele.
Phansi ngama drugs. Phambili ngokusupporta sikline sisupporte uXolani ngoba uXolani lento makayedwa ngeke ayenze yedwa but masiyi community siyi country simsupport I think sizowaclean ama drugs.
Sizokthola has filmed many episodes and there has never been an incident like this. The media has been vocal about how undertrained and underprepared the Amapanyaza are for the tasks that they have been given. But today, they make minimal noise about their involvement in Robert Vari's death. South African media has an agenda against South Africans, and black South Africans in particular. They could go after Panyaza Lusufi for his cheap politicking in establishing the Amapanyaza. But black South Africans standing up for themselves is a bigger threat to the South African media. Every time black South Africans are vocal about their conditions, they are gaslit, called things like xenophobic and vigilantes. The discomfort the South African media has about Xolani is that he is exposing in 4K what South Africans have always said, that African foreigners bring way more negatives than positives to South Africa. In Xolani's case, he's exposing our supposed brothers and sisters' role in the drug epidemic, something that the globalist and desperate third world foreigners are trying to sweep under the carpet so they can continue their PR of foreigners bringing nothing but positives to their host country. Xolani is currently out on 10,000 rand bail, and at the time of this recording, Moja Love has dismissed him, sending out a press release stating, among other things, the contamination of evidence. I mean, how many episodes have shown Xolani handling drugs without gloves and nothing was done by Moja Love management? Moja Love also accused Xolani of being an opportunistic person, trying to benefit from the drug epidemic by saying this in the press release. To this end, the channel continues to work closely with the South African police services to ensure no person enriches themselves from the proceeds of crime, which are perpetuated by greedy individuals masquerading as non-profit organizations. In my humble opinion, Moja Love is trying to protect itself from a lawsuit by Veri's family and other alleged drug dealers featured on the show. Despite the charges, Xolani was appointed in the Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department under the units Technical Response Unit and the Crime Prevention and Combating Unit, continuing his journey of making sure drugs don't touch more South African lives like they did his siblings. Xolani was also forced to hand himself over to the police once again for new charges to be added on top of his murder charge. Even with these dark clouds over his head, Xolani still believes he will be vindicated when he gets his day in court.
Ngibonga kakhulu kuma supporters wami who come every time when I go to a court. It shows that this thing is not about me. It's about the people of South Africa. So I'm here as a representative yabantu base South Africa. I don't care ukuthi we pick fisher kupozana nobani politically. Into ebalekile ukuthi everything that bothers abantu base South Africa, that's where we are.
How do you think this will pan out for Xolani? Please comment below and please like and subscribe to our channel to receive more videos like this.
I already malika igama because of liyakuthanda and une plan and une vision ngawe. So as soon as I bring a substance that will destroy you, what am I saying to your parent? Now, awusabizwa ngosiburo sobizwa ngoNyaope.
Yeah.
Like everyone ophila la kule country le une right yokurealize ipurpose yakhe. Akekho umuntu was born to smoke drugs.